Hello, everyone! The tragic and shocking news surrounding the death of Atlanta rapper T. Hood, whose real name was Tevin Hood, has sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community and beyond, as details continue to surface about the heartbreaking incident that has now been directly linked to the son of Love and hip-hop stars Rasheeda and Kirk Frost, a connection that has turned what might have been considered just another crime headline into a story with layers of celebrity, violence, family turmoil, and unanswered questions. According to official reports, Gwinnett police were dispatched on the evening of August 9th to a residence on the 3900 block of Lee Road in unincorporated Snellville after receiving calls about a shooting. And when officers arrived, they discovered 33-year-old T. Hood, a rising figure in Atlanta's rap scene, fatally shot, his life suddenly and violently cut short in what police later began to describe not as a straightforward murder, but as a possible case of self-defense. The man involved, according to police, was none other than 24-year-old Kai Frost, son of reality television couple Rasheeda and Kirk Frost, who are no strangers to public scrutiny and headlines, but this situation has taken their family into an entirely new and devastating arena, one involving loss of life, potential criminal charges, and a deeply personal scandal that has now spilled into the national spotlight. Reports indicate that Kai Frost did not flee the scene, but instead remained there and cooperated fully with investigators, which added a surprising wrinkle to the unfolding narrative, as many expected a suspect in a deadly shooting might try to escape. Instead, his presence and cooperation seemed to underscore that what happened that night may not have been premeditated or cold-blooded, but rather an explosive and chaotic situation that spiraled out of control within the confines of that Snellville home. Authorities have revealed that a domestic disturbance took place at the residence, with a female victim sustaining visible physical injuries, suggesting that the argument or altercation that led to T. Hood's death was not isolated, but instead part of a broader and violent episode. As police continue to gather evidence, the case remains under intense scrutiny, not only because of the involvement of a celebrity family, but because it highlights a painful and recurring theme in the world of hip-hop and reality television. The dangerous intersections of fame, family conflict, and violence that often erupt behind closed doors, away from the spotlight, but no less devastating. For fans of T. Hood, this has been a heartbreaking loss. He was an Atlanta rapper known for his raw energy, his hustle, and his growing presence in the music scene, someone many believed was just on the verge of breaking into wider recognition. His sudden death feels like yet another tragic chapter in a long list of promising artists whose lives have ended far too soon. For the Frost family, however, this incident represents not only the potential of criminal consequences for their son, but also the heavy burden of public judgment, as Rasheeda and Kirk have long lived their lives in the public eye, opening their home, their relationship, and their struggles to the cameras of love and hip-hop, but now facing a real-life crisis that could forever alter their family's story. This case raises larger questions about domestic disputes, the presence of firearms, and the way split-second decisions can change lives permanently. And while police have made it clear that as of now there is no evidence suggesting anyone outside the home was involved, the investigation remains active, and new revelations are expected as witnesses, forensic reports, and additional testimonies are compiled. The community remains divided, with some pointing to Kai Frost's cooperation as proof that he acted in fear and self-defense, while others see the involvement of a young man tied to fame and money as yet another example of how power can influence justice. Regardless of which way the evidence ultimately points, the reality is that a life has been lost, a family has been shattered, and a young man's future now hangs in the balance. This tragedy, like so many others before it, serves as a grim reminder of how violence leaves no winners, only wounds that may never fully heal. And as the investigation continues, all eyes remain fixed on Gwinnett County, waiting to see what truth will emerge from the shadows of that fateful night and how it will shape the legacies of both T. Hood and the Frost family in the years to come. Thanks for watching.